Hey, y'all. Welcome to
Hey,
Kingdom Exchange Forum. Welcome. How y'all doing today?
good. How are you?
Well, good. Evangelist Felicia. Hi, how you doing?
Doing good, Dr. T. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Pastor April, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
We are doing absolutely wonderful. I'm excited about this conversation on today. We had Apostle Ebron last week, Apostle Mike last week, talking about his journey, his testimony of molestation. Now we are joined by a licensed therapist, Zarzar Morton. Woo-hoo. We thank you for coming on today. Hi.
Hello. How is everyone?
Adding her expertise to the pot. This is gonna be good tonight. How about that?
Awesome.
I can't say hallelujah. You can hallelujah. Bless the name of the Lord. Pastor Abel, what you got for us today?
What you say?
I said, what you got? You can't hear me. What you got for us today? Come on.
My God.
That's it.
Listen. All right. So we are excited because we are still dealing with traumas, but we're dealing in the space of healing. All right. So on last Tuesday, of course, Dr. T just told you we had Apostle Mike, and Apostle Mike took us through the spiritual realm. And so on today, we have our licensed therapist, Zaza Moulton, with us, and she's going to help us naturally understand the importance of getting free. Sit on that couch.
That's right. Sit on the couch.
That's right.
If you got friends, okay, loved ones that are a little skeptical about sitting on the couch, come on.
Sit on the couch.
Tag them on in.
Come on in the room.
Sure, sit
Hear
them
me?
on in. Because
Come on in. Come on
know
in the room.
that listen, freedom is real. All right? Freedom is real. It's nothing like being free from places that keep your mouth muzzled, that keep you paralyzed, that keeps you from moving forward. Do you know that some things that we go through in life, it literally hinders us in our adulthood. It hinders us in relationships. It hinders us in our marriages, even with our children. And so we want you to get everything that you need. So it was important that the team and I said, listen, let's deal with the spirit as well as the natural. Because the Bible tells us that it's first natural, then spiritual. And so we want to make sure that we're providing every avenue so that you can understand what your freedom truly looks like. All right. So before we ask Zarzar to dive in, I want our speakers to reintroduce themselves. We might have some new people on here. Zarzar might have family on here, friends that are listening. So we want them to know who we are. Of course, I'm Pastor April James. Listen, Kingdom Exchange Forum. This is our second month in Kingdom Exchange Forum, but we all have our own individual ministries. But we came together collectively as a sisterhood to number one show that women can actually work together without fussing and fighting and all that.
Amen.
We disagree, but we disagree healthily, so that we understand that, listen, I value what you're saying. That's Dr. T's word. I value what you're saying. I just don't agree. But we get to a place where, okay, I see your point of view. It might be a little different than mine. And so that's the purpose of us coming together. The Kingdom Exchange Forum is literally those conversations that people don't want to have. They are afraid to have. And we here. And we're going to show enough talk about it, all right? So at this time, Evangelist Felicia, will you introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kingdom Exchange Forum. I am one of the great women on this panel on this evening. I am one of the co-hosts here, and I'm just excited. I am an evangelist. I go. One of the things that I do in ministry, I have my own particular ministry, as Pastor April already stated. I actually go out into the streets and the highways and the hedges, and I go and feed the homeless, and go in different spaces and help the homeless. I go out there and sit and talk with them sometimes. Sometimes I just go and just offer a word of encouragement. I do pretty much whatever they ask of me or whatever the need is. I'm one of those that has been taught under Pastor April's leadership is to make sure that you go and whatever the need is, we meet the need. And so that's what I do.
Praise our God.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I am Dr. Toya Spencer Fillmore. Hallelujah. I'm a newlywed. I just been married almost 2 months. It'll be 2 months on the 13th of this month. Yay. Yes, I'm an author. I'm a two-time author. I am a breast cancer survivor. I also have my talk forum on Thursdays, first and third Thursdays of the month. It's called Kitchen Conversations. So we deal with real people, real issues, and we base it on biblical solutions. So I'm here just excited with my sisters, just to, have another outlet, and just what Pastor April says, show people that Black women really can work together. Amen.
Amen. Come on and introduce yourself.
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
It's your turn. So I'm Zaza Moulton. I am a therapist at Ford Counseling. So I recently just got my master's in May. So I'm a new therapist, but I have been in dealing with children and families in therapy since 2008. I worked for the Department of Children's Services. I've worked the in-home therapy. I've done been a family service worker. I've done childcare. So I've done an arena of things where I have helped people get through different issues. So I'm here to pour what I know to others.
Awesome. Listen, I met her while I was working at a child care facility, and she was one that I just loved. She had such an awesome spirit. She always had a smile on her face. She knew how to talk to us, even when we was talking crazy. She knew how to deal with us.
Can you help me? Because I'm telling you, because I check out. You hear me? I check the way out.
We'll talk later.
Look, I could be looking at you and be like,
"You're processing." You're processing it.
No, at that point, I'm checked out.
Yeah, she done checked out. It's a wrap.
I mean, checked out show.
When I tell you, and so when I was thinking about who could I ask, and I said, you know what? I don't talk to her like that. We just Facebook friends, but I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask. And she immediately said yes, and it was just so amazing. And so, I don't know if you want to start first or how you want to do it. The ladies, did y'all have any questions or because y'all know me, if I get to talking, it's a wrap.
Yeah. But you know me, I'm just laid back and laid back.
Okay, well, let's start here.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Felicia.
No, you said let's start here. I'm ready.
Oh. And one more thing.
And one more thing. Thank you. See that? Hold on. It's coming.
Yeah. Okay. So my first question would be this. Someone who is wanting to reach out for help counseling, what would be the steps in the process as into someone reaching out to get what they need?
So it just depends. We have two different avenues. That one, if they do have insurance, they can look on the back of their insurance card. There's a number, and it'll give them a list of providers in their area. So they can do that. One. Also, a lot of providers, if they don't have insurance, have what's called intern. Before I became a therapist, I was an intern. And so the interns provide services for guess what? free. So they can reach out to the different practices if they don't have insurance and see if they have interns that are willing to provide services. And also there, if they don't have that, so there's behavioral health net. I wrote it down, and they provide free counseling. Some people don't have mental health issues and no diagnosis and no insurance. So if you go on to the tn.gov's website and type in behavioral safety net, it'll come up a list of providers in whatever county that you're in Tennessee that provide free services.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So y'all heard that. You got two different avenues. First, you can go through your insurance and check your provider, right?
Right.
Number two, if you do not have insurance, you can reach out and see if they have interns that will help you. Okay. Also,
and also if you've had you don't have a diagnosis, but you need some type of mental health assistance or a referral or something, you can reach out to Behavioral Safety Net, and it'll give you a list of whatever county you're in. It'll give you a list of providers that provide services for free. Behavioral Safety Net.
Awesome. Awesome. Behavioral
Safety Net.
All right. There we go. Come on, Dr. T, you had a question?
I got two questions. Okay, one question: do you work with the companies? I guess when the company have that EAP, program.
We do. Where I'm at is Ford Counseling, and we do work with EAP. For people that don't know, it's the Employee Assistance Program, and most of the times they give you 3 free sessions, so you can talk about whatever you need to talk about. And if you can't get those things dealt with in those 3 sessions, most of us can't, because we had not even opened up at the 3rd session. But you can get those 3 sessions if you contact your employee assistance provider. EAP is what it's called.
Okay. Another question I had: once you get a person in your seat, in your presence, how do you assist them how do you get them to open up?
So it just depends. A lot of different people, I ask them, what are they here for? I give them an opportunity to tell me. And then if not, I look in their intake and find something on there that's a common topic or something. And it may be about college or something. What made you go into their profession? Or tell me about your wife and kids. If I see that they're married and have kids, tell me about your wife and kids. I just get them to open up. And I guarantee you, just by having those small conversations, my clients usually, just open up. For some reason, I don't have a problem with getting people to talk to me.
That's
a good thing.
And so
I know.
Is that I would say that who you are, you have created a safe space. That's what we've been talking about lately, is having a safe space. Because if the space does not feel safe for an individual, they will not open up.
Right.
At all, So that's awesome that you don't have that issue, which, I already said,
Yeah.
she was able to deal with us. I know.
Right. Right. And it's funny when you say, that people have that safe space, because there's a lot of times kids, when dealing with trauma, their parents don't allow them to have that safe space. And so they have been through something that their parents might not even know about, because they have those walls built up. And it's kind of like, I'm the adult, you're the child, and if it's not about this, we don't have anything else to talk about. But no, that's not the case. My baby can come to me about anything. Yes. These doors are always open. I tell my parents to have that open line of communication with your child, because they're here to tell you if you just listen. Okay. A lot of times we ask them how their day is going, but before they can even talk, we doing something else. We on the phone, we listen to the radio, we just doing whatever, not even really paying attention to what they trying to say.
Absolutely. So how would you say, and this is for anybody on the thing with us, the panel, is how can a parent create this safe space? What are some steps that they can take to create that safe space for children? Because I know for a fact, I know especially with me and Evangelist Hines, we've experienced molestation concerning our children. And you know, it took a minute for them to open up. But when my son realized that, you know, I had took off the mom hat, and I kind of just laid in the bed, and just was like, okay, so tell me what happened. He was more free to talk than when I was sitting up, and I was like, what happened? You know,
Right.
So
Or being in a defense mode, like what they do.
yeah,
You know, just ready to go off. Hold on, mama, because I don't want you to hurt nobody. You know. So, and that's number one. Just, you know, let your guard down. Just be a mama. What you said you did, just be a mama. Just listen. Provide. Always listen. Like that's the best thing that you can do with any type of relationship with your child, with your mate, with anybody. It's just to listen. And then they will tell you, I guarantee you, they probably tried to tell you before, but you weren't listening. Okay? So that's the main thing. Just listen and being there for them at all times. I had a friend. You can't let your kid go over somebody's different house every weekend. These are these precious moments. Okay? And this is where this stuff is happening. A lot of this trauma is at these other folks' house that you trust.
Absolutely.
It's happening over their house. Over these sleepovers. So it's listening, being open, keeping that open line of communication every day, asking, you know, well, how about this? Checking those phones, you know, well, what's going on with this? Have you viewed this? Checking those websites that they've been on, those browsers. A lot of times their peers are talking to them about stuff. We're not talking to them about it, but they're interested in knowing it. They scared to come to us.
Right.
There's nothing that my baby can't ask me about. Nothing. Because I don't want her friends to tell her. Because they're going to tell her wrong.
Yeah.
That's right.
So keeping that open, that's the only thing. Keeping that open line of communication. It's not being their friend, but just being their parent. Listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I did that when I was I have an older daughter that's 25, and when she was growing up, that's what I didn't do. Like, she didn't go over people's house, and she could not understand why she couldn't go over sleepovers or things like that, because I knew what happened at other people's houses. You know what I'm saying? So I just made sure she was mad as firecracker all the time. Come on, you don't let me go nowhere. You don't let me go. No, ma'am, you're not.
I'm sure she appreciates it now.
Oh yeah, she appreciates it now because she understands now. But then it was a whole battleground because I said so. That's why I couldn't tell her, hey, you know, this is why, until she got old enough that I could explain it to her and make sure she knew why I didn't let her go over these people's house. You know, I don't know them like that. And sometimes people that I did know, I still didn't let her go over there, you know. So, yeah, that's very much true that it happens at people's houses that you think you know.
And I like how you said you told her no, but you also explained why. A lot of times we'll say no, but then don't give an explanation. It's okay to give a child an explanation that develops that communication. So that's okay to give them an explanation. It's not, you know, because I'm the adult
and I said so. Yeah.
Right. I heard you say that at the beginning, but you later said
but I said in the beginning because I didn't think she was old enough to understand. So when she started getting older, I started explaining to her why.
Definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you say you had two questions?
That's good. Yeah,
Dr. Toya.
I think I asked you, but I asked you a question.
Okay. Anybody else?
Signs you got questions?
Well, my question is, when you have a teenager
Mm-hmm.
That's a boy. And
She said that's a boy.
building, that's a boy. And so, you know, uh, I he's still like processing everything. He's still sitting there listening, watching. And I think you said it like, what, as a parent, in a family session, what is something that we could do, or me stepping back and let the counselor be the counselor, of course, but what is something I can maybe help the counselor do to help him open up, or just let her do her job, and just how can I help him open up a little bit more? Does that make sense?
The only thing that I can suggest, talk to him about some things that he like. You say he like to play. I don't know what teenage boys do. Not Roblox, but video
Foot,
games.
football.
Oh, okay. So maybe talk about the Packers or whoever the big team is. Yeah, I don't listen to
Okay.
sport, but if I
Okay.
had a client, that was into that, I would
Yeah.
research, what the latest going on, so that we can have something to communicate about, because
Okay.
that will let him know she on the same level as me.
Okay.
She does, she does know a little something.
Yeah.
So he feel like you guys are on the same level. So
Yeah.
finding out getting her to find out his interests and talk to him about things that he likes.
Okay.
Mm.
Makes sense. I
Mhm.
appreciate that, because we've been
Oh,
going,
there she go.
Mhm.
and we've been and he'll sit, and it's like
Mhm.
he'll sit.
His processing. Yeah.
Thank you, Zarzar. I just want her to understand that, because she don't think she
Well,
absolutely understands that.
Well, I think, and I think that is in his situation. Yes, Dr. T, something else. But anyway, so um, as far as that's concerned, I know that he does process, and he's gonna sit there, and once he feels that he's comfortable, then he'll be able to. He's giving piece by piece by piece. It's been a little bit slower for him because he's not trusting, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But it's, like you just shared, like relating football, and that'll help him break as a little bit more walls down. So maybe you saying that like that makes sense. So
Mhm.
yes, ma'am.
Mhm. You just have to do what you have to be real creative with these teams. Okay, I was talking to you earlier about like combing hair. I would find out. I worked at Lakeside,
Yeah.
so doing a lot of time, one-on-one time with my kids, I'll be just braiding their hair because they didn't have parents who came to visit them, or they didn't have products. So I would bring in products and braid their hair or comb their hair, because I can't braid, y'all. Comb their hair for them. But we would have a lot of one-on-one time then.
Yeah.
And I would get a lot of information out, and a lot of those barriers and walls are broken because I'm giving them the attention that they don't get at
Yeah.
home. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the barriers and
Mhm.
walls. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's dig into this. If you have someone who is dealing with, let's just say for an example, since we're already talking about it, someone that has dealt with molestation, from a from a childhood place,
Mhm.
what are some steps that you could give them to start processing the trauma that came behind the molestation?
Okay, so number one, they got trust issues. Okay,
Mm.
they gonna have
Mm-hmm.
plenty of trust issues. A lot of it, they gonna have to go. What you said at first, sit on somebody's couch. As an adult,
Mm-hmm.
we have been through so much, and what they call the things that we go through as a child adverse childhood experiences. They call ACEs, and we've had traumas and traumas and traumas never addressed, and we are an adult now, and so we have these kids, and we haven't processed our trauma, so we can't help our kids process their trauma. So in order to get them some help, we got to get some help. You got to go sit on that couch and build that relationship with a certified person and talk about what you got going on. And whatever you're dealing with, once you get that trauma addressed, and then that anger that you're dealing with, that self-esteem that you're dealing with, that uh, uh any other issues that you're dealing with, those relationship issues, that trauma hinders a lot of things that we're going through, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go sit on somebody's couch. You gotta go talk to somebody. That's it. You know, a lot of people they go to medicine when they're having these different issues. They, want to medicate you. No, you need to deal with the main reason that this child is going through whatever they're going through. You got to get to the bottom of it. It's not all about medicine. So, like I said, dealing with child molestation, report it. It don't matter how old it is. Report it. You can report it anonymously. And anybody can report it, y'all. If somebody is in y'all profession, if somebody, in your ministry tells you that they've been abused, y'all can report it anonymously if you want to. Go on TN.gov and report child abuse and neglect, or you can call the numbers 1-877-237-0004. Y'all can report it. Y'all are mandated reporters. Any person that is giving any information about child molestation or physical abuse, any type of abuse, you can report it. You are a mandated reporter.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope y'all catching all this good information and
Yeah, I
sharing.
want her to repeat that the number again.
So it's 1-877-237-0004. Yes, that is it.
Awesome. You got it, Dr. C?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So listen, y'all heard what she said. Okay. So a lot of times this is what happens. All right. We church girls, so let's take it to church just for a moment, right? So this what happens is we're in the church and we got things going on, right? We on the altar, we praying, we doing all this stuff, but we're still stuck, right? Listen, it's okay that you can't work it out yourself, because a lot of times we be trying to figure it out on our own, and sometimes we need a little assistance to help us along the way. As they've been saying the whole time we've been on here, the word processing. Okay, as an adult, you got to learn how to process. The reason some of us are bad communicators is because we don't know how to process information. We hear something and we go running. We got to do this instead of processing what's happening. She said something so vital. When our children have went through things and we've went through things, because we are not healed, we can't help them. Or, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say and our response is worse than what it probably should be, which then causes not only your children but other individuals to shut down. I've even been in spaces with friends, loved ones, siblings or cousins or whatever the case may be, where you have an issue and you begin to talk to them and their response will cause you to just shut down and say, forget it. Just forget it, And so it's important that we understand that sometimes, as she just said, you can't take the medicine because all you're doing is you are, what's the word I'm looking for? All you're doing is suppressing what your issues truly are, right? So we don't want to suppress. We want to get free. We want to be healed. And so, y'all got some more questions coming?
Well, I just wanted to say that the importance of what you just shared, Pastor April, because I was one of those that suppressed it and thought that if I just suppressed it, covered up, put a mask on, it'll go away. And every once in a while, it'll always come up. We call it cycles. Every once in a while, it'll come up and it'll come out at the wrong time, and it'll come out sometimes the same time every year. And when you have real people in your space to help you and say, hey, I've seen this before with you. You need to deal with it. You can't put it up under the rug anymore. You can't put it in a shoebox, in the sock drawer, in the corner. You got to deal with that thing, and it has to come up and it has to come out. And even when it comes up and come out, you still got to go sit on somebody's couch to help you really legitimately process it. And guess what? I ran. I was scared because I'm like, it's too much. But when I say each day that I begin to dig and get lit and be honest about the fact that something wrong with you, because guess what? We think we have it together and we do not. You can put an eyelash on it, tape hair in it, put on a shirt and tie, some shoes with some beautiful socks that glow in the dark when you walk. But guess what? Something is still wrong internally. You can dress stuff up all day long, but internally something's going on. And guess what? It's mental. And mentally, you can know the word from A to Z, from Genesis to Revelations, quote the longest chapter, quote the shortest verse. And then the thing about it is, but you still naturally jacked up. So it's important. I had to learn this too, and I'm still learning. I'm gonna go sit on somebody's couch because I made my appointment. I make my appointment every week. And I'm
Right.
saying this to say because I got tired of repeating the same stuff, which was insanity, repeating the same stuff, expecting a different result. And guess what? And guess when I say that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I understand the word of God, line upon line, precept upon precept, the parts that I do know and understand and apply to my life. But guess what? When I get done, I'm going to go sit on her couch tomorrow afternoon when I get out of school because I need it. It helped me. It has helped me value who I am in God first, and then help me value who I am as a woman, and then help me to be a better mother to my children. All right, that's my piece.
My God.
That's good right there.
That is good. You have accepted what you went through, and you trying to continue to move toward a positive future.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all it is. Once you identify that, like you said, that you have issues and you're ready to address it, that's the first step.
Yeah.
So you're breaking the cycle. You're breaking the cycle, and that's where it starts with acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I when I did acknowledge it, sometimes we can acknowledge it and still run from it. But the important part is the fact that you acknowledge it and deal with it.
Right.
Because we can acknowledge it all day long. And I'm saying this because I did it. I acknowledged it. I'm like, let me just I'm gonna deal with it next week. Let me deal with it starting Sunday. No, you have to deal with it immediately because if you do not, it's gonna what we also miss too is this. Do you want something to trickle down to your children? And that's what I had to realize. Hey, I don't want to see, and I've seen residue of certain things that my children deal with. So guess what? I'm going individually, my 60 minutes, and my children are too, because guess why? I do not want them to have to deal with some of the things that I've dealt with as a child, even as an adult, because I told them I'm a little younger. And because I'm younger, I don't want you to be my age, still trying to figure that thing out. Right. I want y'all to get free early, not at me being as young as I am. Amen. So, yeah. So, yes, ma'am.
That's the best thing that you could have done, though. Like you said, invite your children as well, so you can address the issues, and they'll know how to process things when problems arise. They'll know how to, interact with them when they arrive.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, thank you. I'm just going to ask you, can you post that for me? Okay. All right. Tiffany says, dealing with abuse, especially sexual, is insensitive. It's sensitive. Listen, I can't see. Okay, here we go. Sensitive must be addressed, but a lot of sexual abuse is generational. Grandparents were abused, parents were abused, and now the children are suffering abuse. It has been suppressed as a family. I believe that they need to talk to someone, but they also need to pray over their bloodlines and give it over to God. You are absolutely correct. Definitely. And that's what we're talking about. Is that there is a natural space as well as a spiritual space. And look, let me tell you this. Even if nobody else wants to talk about it, you make a choice to talk about it. Because sometimes, come on, let's be real. They don't want to go back because they don't want to relive it again. They don't want nobody to know. But when it's happened to you and when it happens to your children, come on, you be the spokesperson for your generation. Right. You be the chain breaker for your generation. Listen, I tell my folks all the time. My folks is doing all type of stuff, generational and all of that. Right. But it stopped right here with me. You understand what I'm saying? It stopped right here with my children. I won't allow the enemy to come in. So yes, as well as pray, go sit on that couch.
Right,
Jesus'
right.
name.
Mm,
When you
Jesus'
talk,
name.
when you talk about, things that happen generation after generation, so we know, a lot of times these incest, you know, happens. I'm from a town in Mississippi. So when I was doing services in Mississippi, I had kids who had babies by their daddy, you know, babies by their brother, was having sex
Wow.
with their siblings or whatever. So
Wow.
once I got the children that came into custody, they thought that that was okay. Like she didn't think that her dad had done anything wrong to her. But
Wow.
it was until I removed her, and from that situation and show her what positive love, what the correct, type of love, and put her in a safe environment that was when she realized, okay, all of this that I've been doing all along was wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Wow.
have seen some stuff, y'all. I have seen some stuff. And I
Wow.
was thinking earlier, I was like, okay, what is going to be important for me to get out on this live? One thing that I thought about was teaching your child the correct names for their body parts.
Okay.
And I said this because I had a case where a child was trying to tell her teacher that her daddy had ate her cookie. Then the teacher was thinking, okay, daddy shouldn't have ate your cookie, but that was it.
Wow.
No, that baby was talking about her vagina, okay?
Wow.
So if we had been teaching the correct terminology, that teacher would have knew immediately. This needs to be reported. That child could have been taken out of that trauma that she was going through. And this baby had been going through this since she was 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
It a long time. So it's very important. I provide services to people at school, but in the enrollment part, we had to do applications. And we telling them that we're talking about the body parts in here. We're going to talk about the body parts because it's important. You don't give them the name cookie and, pocketbook and whatever the little cute stuff, that we give, because nobody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
We're going to teach them the correct terminology so that if something is going on, we're going to know.
Express. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I do, I talk to my nephew. I have a 4-year-old nephew.
Okay.
And I talk to him when I see him because he stays in Nashville and I'm in Georgia. So when I talk to him, when I see him, I asked him, I said, I name it Nichols.
Okay.
I said, where's your nickels? He showed me his nickels. I said, do anybody supposed to touch your nickels? He said, no, TT, nobody touch my nickels. I said, that's right. Nobody touch your nickels. Okay. When somebody touch your nickels, what you tell? I tell my daddy. You better tell somebody.
Right.
Your nickels. Okay. So I'm trying to teach him that, at the age of 4. And I said, if a stranger come to you and try to touch you, what you say? He say, stranger danger, and you run. I said, that's exactly what you do.
Run and scream too.
Right. Scream, stranger danger. Right. So I'm starting him at 4 years old. So yeah.
Definitely. And instilling them, you tell everybody that you can. Tell the teacher, tell the social worker, you tell. And a lot of people don't know that these schools have social workers in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they for. At the school, they'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can't help you, they're gonna refer you to somebody that can help you address those issues.
Right.
Because a lot of times the kids, they don't know who to talk to. They don't, they other than their friends, and their friends not giving them, but they don't know to tell them, to contact somebody.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, what about when we were talking about suppressing those things? What happens when what has been suppressed has been triggered?
Wow.
So it comes out as anger.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out in a whole lot of different ways. But it's all going back to addressing it. You got to get it addressed. I
Mhm.
had a lot of kids. They had been, I say, physically abused.
Okay.
Um, and so we've given them the diagnosis of ADHD. Okay, before they got to me, this this acting out in class, and just doing whatever to get attention. They get attention at home, but they getting whooped for it. You know,
Mhm.
also because they acting out. And now mama's saying I can't control him, but when he gets to class, he's still acting out, but he's doing it in a way to get somebody to figure out, okay, it's something going on with me. You trying to get, because at first, my mama, I was acting out, but my mama, she whooped me. Okay, so I can't act out like I was at home because I'm gonna get beat
Get a
for it.
whooping. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get beat for it. So when I get to school, I act out. But my teacher, she gonna put me out of class, but she gonna know to not call my mama because all my mama gonna do is whoop me and send me back to school.
Mhm.
So a lot of times when these kids act up, we don't look at what they trying to say. When I said earlier, they trying to talk to us, but we not listening.
Mhm.
So that whole time, that child, he had started suppressing, what he was going on. He'll show it out at school just so his teacher could identify that something was going on. So as being adults, we have to look at the signs that these children are showing us because they telling us that it's going on, but we not looking. And we just thinking that he a problem child.
Mhm.
So do you think that comes from because it's funny because you was answering as I was writing it down, and I
You're
was getting
fine.
ready to ask, how can we identify these things? But do you think that we miss them because we got so much of our own stuff going on that we don't even want to be bothered?
Mhm.
We definitely miss them because we have, like you said, got so much other
Mm-hmm.
stuff going on. But I say this all the time: if you're not in it for the right reason,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because these kids come to school not only to get an education, but this is where they are able to provide an outlet. They're able to express what's going on because they don't get any of this attention at home.
Absolutely.
So if you're not in it for the right reason, can y'all see me? I was just gonna still see me.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. So on the children's advocacy website, there are signs of physical abuse, signs of sexual abuse, and signs of emotional abuse with the and neglect. And with the signs of physical abuse, when the kids come to school with different fractures and injuries and no explanation of what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
um, if burns on in child care, I'll just say burns on the butt or the genital areas, and nobody, you got to ask questions. I was one of those nosy providers, hey mama, I noticed this or whatever. You gotta ask questions, like for real. If a child is isolating, if when the parent get ready to pick them up, they kind of withdrawn and really don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
If they abusing objects or animals. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so with the sexual abuse,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I've had kids with STDs, and I'm like, I know this ain't come from, the type of milk she drinking, or that parents that have all kind of, you know, explanation. Nah, that nightmares and bedwetting, being isolated,
Mm-hmm.
masturbating. They used to say, "Oh, well, he a boy. He's gonna come on now." No, he putting on that a little bit too much. He's seen somebody do something.
Do it.
That
Mm-hmm.
part.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Um, like watching porn,
Yep.
obsession with it, suicide attempt,
Mm-hmm.
self-destructive behavior. Want to cut on themselves. And
Uh-huh.
substance abuse, it's a lot of different signs that are shown and we ignore.
Yes, we do. We we ignore them, so.
We ignore them. And so I said there was something on the Child Advocacy Center, but if you guys have like communities or different type of events where y'all want somebody to do some training on signs of physical abuse, you can get sign up for stewards of children, and they will come and talk to you about the different signs and how to report abuse in your different ministries. If you wanted to provide that training
Okay.
to the people in your organizations, you can sign up for stewards of children, and they will provide that to them.
And that's good because listen, I might
Mm-hmm.
get sent
Mm-hmm.
to hell for saying this, but it be abuse going on in the church,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
be
Mm-hmm.
mishandling. I'm gonna say mishandling
Mm-hmm.
these children, or the children that it might be happening, might not be happening in the church, but it's happening with somebody at the church. And
Right.
so I think that that's really good. I think Evangelist Hines, you want to jump in. Listen, you gonna have to learn how to pop in like popcorn. You sitting
She'll
there
do this.
waiting on somebody. She's like,
Well, you know, okay, okay. Well, okay. So my question is, because I've had to deal with this in a different space. I had to call the people, and the people never showed up,
Okay.
and followed up and everything. How do you handle that when you know, like, because you know, like you just shared, we're mandated reporters, and they don't come through, and it's like, I'm just me. I pray, and I pray for the
Mm-hmm.
safety of the child, because guess what? You know, they're at home, and this is where everything is taking place. You call, they don't show up. So how do you handle that?
You keep calling.
Okay.
You keep calling. You keep following up, and everybody has a supervisor. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
And
Everybody has
letter
a
always
supervisor.
work. Letter always work. You hear me?
Definitely. You email somebody.
Okay.
Everybody has a supervisor, but you keep calling.
Mhm.
You do your job.
mm-hmm.
You do your job because somebody's gonna be held responsible.
Yes.
Because you got to put it out there. If you see that this stuff is going on, you can't keep it. You got to put it out there. And even if you suspect it's something, you don't know for sure
Yeah.
that it's going on. That
Yeah.
you turn it over to the people that investigate it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
you just keep on reporting it. That's all right. They'll
Yeah.
get tired. They're
Yeah.
gonna come back and do to shut your mouth up, okay?
Right.
Mhm.
It's
So
all
I,
right.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember when I was in child care, and one of the babies, and I'm very watchful, and I noticed, while she was taking a nap, she was digging. I was like, you got to go to the bathroom,
Right.
and she was like, yes, ma'am. And when she went to the bathroom, something said, go check. I said, okay. So I got up, and when I looked in the bathroom, she had a toy stuck in the inside of her. And so I was like, oh, I said, what you doing with your toy?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm just playing with. Like, okay. I said, well, listen, we can't do that. She lay down and she took her nap. But when Daddy came in, I was like, hey, I
Right.
noticed this. I said, now, I never have any problems. Which she wasn't a problem child. She never had any behaviors. I said, but since she came back from over the weekend, something is different. What
Yeah.
has happened? And I created a rapport with my parents. And so I
Definitely.
could talk to them
yeah.
without reporting it, because some parents are really good parents.
Right.
Yeah.
They just don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
And the father was like, something happened with my other son, and my stepson had been over the house all weekend. And the next day, the mama came in, and I noticed something was different about her, and I had clocked out. And I was like, you okay? She was like, I just can't, I don't understand. I don't understand. But the stepson
Mm-hmm.
had been touching all of the kids, not just one,
Yeah.
but all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the mother was so distraught, because she was like, and he been in my house. So how long
It's
he
been
been
going
doing?
on.
How long? And so those things are so it's such a sensitive space
Yeah.
because it causes if you could share with us what type of things that it causes for our children when they experience that.
So that's when I talk about the depression, the anger issues, the suicide. Yeah, so many kids are experiencing, trying to attempt suicide because they have suppressed these issues. There's nobody to talk to. And so that's a way of them expressing themselves by cutting and self-harming themselves. So a lot of this depression, it stemmed from being abused and not being able to talk about it, not getting it addressed. That's why I say it's so important, y'all. It's
Yeah.
so important to talk to somebody. There's somebody somewhere that you can talk to. And if they can't answer your questions, they can point you in the direction of somebody. If you attend the school, there's a school social worker. If there's a guidance counselor, get you a teacher that you build a rapport with.
Yes.
The principal, somebody that you can trust and get you some help.
Awesome. 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 So we Dr. Toya or Evangelist Hines, y'all have any more questions or concern statements?
Dr. Toya set up a little bit. Okay.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
No, I don't have any more questions. She was very thorough, and even I just was writing, putting some of the signs of physical abuse and sexual abuse that she was saying in the comments, just so people can go back and refer. And even like she said, stewards of children. I hope I spelled that right.
Yes, stewards of children. Yes,
because it's So I just want to make sure I spelled it right. And this has been very informative. But I know we've been talking about children, but sometimes molestation and rape and things of that nature happens to adults in their adult life. So what can you tell the people, like what do you when you run across some people that have had that happen, adults in their adult life, what are some of the flaws, I guess, or the behaviors that they do in our adulthood that when that type of thing happen?
the same withdrawn, the same depression, the same that the children is just they're becoming adult and they learn how to mask those things that they went through. And I tell all my people that I talk to, it's okay to say no, even if not just when being abused or neglected. People can ask a lot of you just in life to ask you to do something. It's okay to say no. Too many things get on your plate, you get overwhelmed, and then you be sitting in my office because you overwhelmed, you stressed. It's okay to say no. But to go back to what you address, the adults they become withdrawn and isolate themselves. Because I've had some women who have been abused as well as, like you said, as an adult. Just because you are with a partner doesn't mean that it's okay to have sex when he want to have sex on command. No, no, it's not okay.
Look, not even if you're married, they can't do that. Not on command.
I ain't married, y'all. I
can tell my husband
no. They just running out, but it's okay to say no, y'all. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. And get you some help. Look on your insurance card. Contact the EAP provider if you in a relationship or in a domestic violence. That's that's what my adults face a lot is domestic violence.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's a lot of domestic violence shelters out there that you can go to. Sarah's Place is one. They take children, adults with their children. If you've been domestically abused, domestic violence, suffered from domestic violence, you can contact Sarah's Place, and They will get you some help. There's also a lot of people don't know about MIFA. They have shelter as well.
Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, you have definitely shared so much with us, and you know, even everything that you were calling out, you know, those issues, and as we see that the issues don't change, right, from a child to an adult, they
And if you
don't
don't
change.
get these things addressed, yeah, as a childhood, it when you become an adult, it's just bigger issues. It just
Mm-hmm.
like she said, it's a cycle. It's just bigger issues. The adverse childhood experiences that I talked about earlier. If you don't get those trust issues or those relationship issues, you won't be a productive adult.
Absolutely, which is what we were talking about. You know, I know we kept saying children, 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 because can I tell you, some of us have blocked out our childhood,
Yeah.
and we don't even realize certain things we have experienced because why? We didn't block that thing out. So that's why we were talking about children, because guess what? Okay, let's go spiritual. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? In some spaces, that little girl in you and that little boy in you is still sitting there, and
Right.
they don't know how to get free. This
Because
is
that's when
why.
that trauma happened, when you was a little girl, a little boy, but you
Come
grown now.
on now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
that's it.
That's right.
And
And
so
and even
because it
when
has happened, go ahead. I'm sorry.
uh-uh
Don't believe.
what
Go
I was
ahead.
just because what I was gonna say was, and you still act like that child in that same age as an adult. And so when you have never dealt with that thing, you still act like a child, and you
You
40
stuck.
acting like a 4-year old because you stuck right there in that place. And if you never deal with it, if you never get over it, if you never like dig up that thing and never know and understand the importance of you getting free and healed of it, you'll always be that same 4-year old. You'll always be that same when that trauma took place, or even when it began, because guess what? Stuff happened to you even after you were 4. You are still there until you deal with it. And that's
Definitely.
what I want to share.
Absolutely. I mean, you just stole my statement. I thought that's what I was saying, you know.
I'm
But I
sorry.
heard you saying it. And
Y'all so entwined, so it
yeah.
That's right. That's it. That's it. In the
Yes,
spirit. That's all. That's all.
yes,
In the
but no,
spirit.
but seriously though, it's real. You know, you're trying to grow, you're trying to advance, but you're still stuck. There's a
Mm-hmm.
place that's mentally still stuck because guess what? I said it earlier. Somebody hit one of them triggers, it's
Mm-hmm.
coming up and it's gonna come out, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna be pretty. And a lot of times, what happens is people will hit your trigger that really ain't did nothing to you, but because you're not free, your response to them comes out in such a nasty, unhealed, unhealable place.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
all you got to do is, as
deal with it.
our therapist has told us all night, is
Deal with it.
That's right.
accept it. You know, acknowledge it. You first got to accept it, and you got to acknowledge it. That
Mm-hmm.
hey, guess what? I got an issue,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
When you were talking about trust issues, there were spaces when I got married because of what I went through, being molested as a child, not by men but by women too, and
Right.
being molested, right? And going through that, guess what? I had issues with my husband when it pertained to intimacy because why? It would make my mind go back to that place of being
Definitely.
violated. And
Right.
can I tell you, that's not fair to my husband
Right.
that he got to suffer because I've been violated. No,
Right.
baby, you listen. And let me say this. You grown now. So it's your
Mm-hmm.
responsibility to
Come
get your
on.
healing. It's
That's right.
nobody else's responsibility when you have got to a place in your life where you grown and you make your own, you know, I'm grown.
Definitely.
I make my own decisions.
That's
Make
right.
a decision
Mhm.
and get healed. Make a decision
Mhm.
and be free because why? You do not want to leave this earth with all that nasty stuff in your heart. Do you know when we hold stuff in our heart that causes us to have heart issues? We
Definitely.
stressed out, high blood pressure, diabetes. We got all this stuff. And it simply comes from you don't want to let that stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
Let that hurt go, baby. Just let it go.
That's
Let
right.
it go by the couch. Mm-hmm.
I
Don't
always say
forget to remember with
being broken is not your fault, but staying broken is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
I
it.
love
right.
that.
That's good. That's
Mhm.
good. That's
So
good.
I really, really, really appreciate you on
Yes.
tonight. Listen, we got on here a little later, but I am excited. Those that have come back and listen to the replay, we pray that you got something, you heard something, something to help you push a little further, and all of that. The last thing that I would like to do is I would like Czar to give us her information one more time, so that if someone wants to reach out, not her personal information, okay, today, her job information, to reach out and to get help. And then not only that, but listen, if you're her friend and you follow her on Facebook, guess what? I'm quite sure she may answer a question or two and let you talk and let you vent just a little bit, okay?
Just a little bit.
Just to teach, because so many times we will have people in our space and won't utilize them.
Definitely. Definitely.
We won't utilize them. You sitting
Mhm.
there, you are broken and hurt and all that good stuff. And you got your friend, your best friend is a whole therapist.
Right, but I
I
need
need you
y'all
to
to
talk.
be ready. Don't contact me if you ain't ready to deal with it. Cause
Come
I
That's
am.
on.
it.
That right
That's
I
there.
need you
all.
to be ready.
That
Come
right
on there.
there. Got to be
That's
Cause
it.
ready.
I'm ready to work. I'm ready to
Mhm.
put in the work if you are, but you got to be ready to put in the work too.
That's
Amen.
right.
And amen. Amen. So go ahead and share your information with us just one more time,
That's
and
fine.
whatever else that you would like to close with.
So you can email me at Zaza Zazar Moulton Moton at forwardcounseling.com. Zaza Moulton Zazar Moton at forwardcounseling.com.
Awesome. There it is.
Thank
There
you.
it is.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. That's it. I want y'all to catch this information. We're gonna leave it up for a hot second. Because I want you to get it. Go back through here. If anything else was, somebody that's going through domestic abuse and needs a safe place to go. Listen, they left it on here. We got to make sure that we're helping one another get free.
Definitely.
Don't have a wealth of information and not share it with others. Don't have somebody's next and you holding on to it, but help somebody get free. This is the purpose of this tonight, is helping others get free. Now, was there anything else?
I was just gonna say, if you need a resource, a referral, y'all can reach out to me. I've been in the mental health field or providing resources for families for so many years. Y'all can email me if you just need a resource for whatever. I'll provide that. There's no problem. If I got it, I'll give it to you. It
Awesome.
doesn't cost me anything.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Definitely.
Real help. That's what I'm talking about.
Definitely.
Yes.
All right. Event time, you like you had something to say? You got something to say, Mom?
I'm excited because I remember being that place before I even started counseling, and how important and broken and both, just both, broke down and discussed it and about myself and how I had to do something. And that one thing, and I just want to encourage someone on this evening that this is your first day of your new beginning with
Definitely.
starting with counseling. And it's important that if you feel like you need help and you feel like I need more and it's not enough, go talk to someone. Zaza Motion is beautiful inside and out from what I see and what I've gathered. And she's beautiful inside and out, and she's open and she's wanting to share. This is your time. This is your space. This is your opportunity to have a new beginning. This is the 8th month. And I'm excited about everyone's future, even on the replay, on the playback, Come on. I want you all to get free because guess what? I know Dr. Toya is getting free. I know Pastor April is getting free. I know Zaza Moden is free. And Evangelist Free is getting Evangelist Fee is getting free. So in that
Come
next
on,
quarter,
Evangelist Free.
what I'm saying is, I want everyone to be free and that you have an opportunity to be free. And it starts with you making it up in your mind and understanding the importance to look, hey, I know I need some more help. And it's okay. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you wanting to be free, wanting to be whole. And guess what? It is not impossible. And today is your day. Let's begin today. Zaza Mo, you have been wonderful. I am so excited. And it's a pleasure meeting you and talking with you and laughing and everything backstage and even here now. Like, I'm excited. So
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
Dr. Toya,
Yes. Oh,
closing remarks.
no closing remark.
You got some.
I mean, I just already said it though. See, you see how they hard on me. You see,
I see. It's okay. They don't want you to just process the information.
Yeah, I'm still processing. Like, but, you know. Thank you, Zaza. I'm gonna have to have you on here with me all the time.
I got you, babe.
You helping me. You helping me. You freeing me right now. Mm-hmm. Thank you, God. I
see. Got to hit 100%. That is uploaded.
Uploaded.
Thank you. That part.
But look, bad internet. Just can't get right. I'm sick of it.
Look, see, you see what I told you she was gonna say? I'm sick of it. Didn't I tell you she was Yes. But look, I appreciate it. I mean, all this information was very, very good, very knowledgeable. I mean, like Evangelist Fee said, you know, you have a beautiful personality. We've been laughing since you've been on here, even before we got on here. So, I mean, I can see where people can be, you know, open with you and be like, okay, now I tell her about this part, or then I'm gonna relax a little bit more. So, but your resources, your knowledge is very needed in this society, especially with African American people, because we don't believe in sitting on nobody's couch. Right. We believe we sit on somebody's couch, be crazy, and that's the stigmatism that we have, the stigma that we have to get away from, because that's not necessarily true. Because you know we grow up and the saying is, if it's whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. But that's not true, because whatever goes in this house that hurts you, you need to talk to somebody else so you can get free from it. You're right. Because you keep holding on to it, it's gonna take root. It's gonna take up some vines. It's gonna be wrapping around you, and you're gonna be 40 years old trying to get free from the stuff that happened when you was 4. So I mean, it just, you know. And I'm talking about based on experience.
Right. Okay? You need to bring your mama, your grandmama, whoever needs the help. Bring them with you.
That's right.
We got a therapist for them too.
That's right.
That's right.
Them, they need some help.
Yeah. Bring everybody.
All of them.
Right.
Yes. So listen, if you are on Clubhouse, meet us Friday at 8 p.m. on Clubhouse. That is Central Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. There we go. In Jesus' name. All right.
Easter.
Yeah, that's Easter. Meet us at
that time. Just meet you there.
Yeah.
Listen, I always crack jokes because sometimes I get tongue tied and I just tickle. It tickles me, right? But listen, meet us on Clubhouse on Friday. She will be with us again on Friday. Clubhouse is a little more private. You have to worry about looking in your face and all of that good stuff. And once it's over, it's over. There ain't nobody recording what you're saying and all of that good stuff. So listen, meet us at Clubhouse, and then you can ask your questions or whatever the case may be. And we're going to dig into it on Friday. So I'm excited. I am so grateful for Zaza once again for coming in and help shed some light on some things. Listen, she called out, you know, the things that we deal with trauma, depression. trust issues, anger, self-esteem issues, relationship issues, suicide. We got triggers, we got suppressed issues. And guess what? All you got to do is make that phone call. Once you have acknowledged that there's an issue, accept it, make that phone call and get you some help.
Right.
So thank y'all. We love y'all. If there's not anything
Thank
else,
you.
then we're done.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.